Shalom and good evening. This is TV7 Israel News broadcast to you from Jerusalem. And in today's top stories, U.S. Secretary of Defense Mark Esper concludes a visit to Israel, during which he reiterated Washington's commitment to the security of Jerusalem at a time of both regional challenges and opportunities. Israeli Foreign Minister Gabi Ashkenazi urges visiting Italian Foreign Minister Luigi Maio to exert pressure on the Palestinian leadership for the purpose of advancing peace. Israel praises Estonia for outlawing Iran's Lebanese-proxy Hezbollah. The United States' commitment to the security of the State of Israel remains ironclad at a time of both regional challenges and opportunities. U.S. Secretary of Defense Mark Esper concluded a one-day trip to the Jewish state, during which the top Pentagon official held a series of work meetings with his Israeli counterpart, Defense Minister Benny Gantz, and separately with Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Upon arrival at Tel Aviv's Ben Gurion International Airport, Gantz accompanied Esper to a presentation of an Iron Dome battery in light of a recent delivery of the sophisticated aerial defense system to the United States Army. From there, they continued to a bilateral defense meeting at the Israeli Ministry of Defense in Tel Aviv, which was joined by Jerusalem's top military and defense officials. During the meeting, Minister Gantz and Secretary Esper reviewed critical components of the defense cooperation between the two defense establishments in the context of the changing Middle East. They discussed the imperative to maintain regional security and stability and to confront Iran. Among others, Gantz expressed his appreciation for Esper's personal involvement in the process which led to a joint declaration at the Pentagon last week, affirming the American commitment to Israel's qualitative military edge and outlining Washington's intention to significantly upgrade Israel's military capacity to the benefit of regional stability. The U.S. Defense Secretary, for his part, pledged to continue strengthening the U.S.-Israel defense partnership and lauded the two countries' robust military-to-military cooperation. Subsequently, Secretary Esper held a separate meeting with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. According to a Pentagon readout, they discussed shared security concerns throughout the region and the need for continued cooperation to advance mutual interests. Separately, Secretary Esper and Prime Minister Netanyahu discussed how the normalization of relations between Israel and the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain under the Abraham Accords represents a historic opportunity to strengthen regional security. It is important to mention that the visit by Secretary of Defense Mark Esper came at the same day when the White House informally notified Congress that it intends to sell 50 sophisticated F-35 stealth fighter aircraft to the United Arab Emirates. And while Israel has seemingly mixed feelings about the sale, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said in a press conference last night that while Jerusalem understands the need to bolster its allies, which face a common threat, namely Iran, Washington remains committed to maintain Israel's qualitative military edge, which is not less crucial.
אנחנו גם יודעים שאנחנו כולנו עומדים מול איום משותף, ואנחנו מבינים את זה היטב, אבל עם זאת היה חשוב שמערכת הביטחון קיבלה את ההתחייבות האמריקנית הברורה הזאת לשמירת יתרוננו האיכותי הצבאי באזור ובכלל.
In other yet related news, Italian Foreign Minister Luigi Di Maio concluded a two-day visit to Israel today, during which Rome and Jerusalem signed a series of bilateral agreements in the areas of education, culture, energy, and science. In a joint press conference at the Foreign Ministry in Jerusalem, Di Maio's Israeli counterpart, Gabi Ashkenazi, praised the ever-growing bilateral relations between Italy and the Jewish state. Minister Ashkenazi also seized the opportunity to reiterate to Minister Di Maio the importance of recently signed Abraham Accords and voiced hope that more regional countries would join the circle of peace.
הסכמי אברהם פתחו חלון הזדמנות לשלום בין ידידים, מדינות, תרבויות ואנשים. אני מאמין שאנחנו בתחילת עידן חדש במזרח התיכון, והופכים מאזור שידע מלחמות וסכסוכים לאזור של שיתופי פעולה, שגשוג ויציבות. זהו עניין היסטורי. הם ללא ספק שינוי דרמטי במזרח התיכון, ואנו רואים חשיבות רבה לנצל את המומנטום ולהצטרפות הקהילה הבינלאומית לחיזוק הסכמי השלום החדשים.
Ashkenazi further asked of his Italian counterpart to relay a message to the Palestinian leadership in Ramallah that Jerusalem is keen to find a viable solution to the decades-old Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Ashkenazi also seized the opportunity to commend Italy's government for its contribution to regional security, including for its year-long role in UNIFIL, which is headed by an Italian general. The Israeli minister further encouraged his Italian counterpart to step up efforts to confront the challenges posed to Israel from its north, namely Iran and the Lebanese-proxy Hezbollah.
יש לדאוג ביתר שאת ליציבות הביטחונית בגבול הצפוני של מדינת ישראל ולמנוע כל ניסיונות של זליקת אמצעי אמל"ח לידיה של חיזבאללה. אנחנו רואים חשיבות רבה בהצטרפותה של איטליה במאבק להוצאת חיזבאללה מחוץ לחוק ובהכרה בארגון על כל זרועותיו כארגון טרור. ארגון הפועל בחסות האוכלוסייה האזרחית בלבנון ומשתמש בה כבת ערובה לפעילות טרור חובקת עולם.
Ashkenazi, who formerly served as the IDF Chief of General Staff, also seized the opportunity to voice his own belief regarding threats posed by the Islamic Republic of Iran.
אני מאמין שזהו אינטרס גלובלי משותף להתמודד מול האיום האיראני, למנוע ממנה לקדם תוכנית להשגת נשק גרעיני ולהתחמש בנשק מתקדם, באופן שיאפשר לה לשנות את הסטטוס קוו, את היציבות במזרח התיכון. על מדינות העולם לתמוך במשטר הסנקציות שמובילה ארצות הברית ולא לאפשר למשטר האיראני להמשיך ולהפיץ שנאה ואלימות ברחבי העולם. חשוב להדגיש כי המאבק באיום האיראני איננו רק אינטרס מזרח תיכוני או ישראלי. אני מאמין שמי שלא ישכיל לטפל במדיניות האגרסיבית של איראן היום, ימצא את האיום האיראני מתדפק על דלתו גם באירופה וגם במקומות אחרים בעולם.
It is important to know that while most European nations continue to maintain that the Trump administration's maximum pressure campaign against Iran is not necessarily the best course of action to limit the Islamic Republic's malign behavior in all that pertains to Tehran's nuclear ambitions. However, a growing number of European countries are lining up to outlaw Iran's Lebanese-proxy Hezbollah. The latest such move was announced by the state of Estonia on the 22nd of October. Tallinn's move drew praise from Jerusalem, which asserted that the Estonian government's decision to recognize Hezbollah as a terrorist organization in its entirety and to bar the group's members from entering the country sends a clear message against terrorism and against Hezbollah's terrorist activities, which threaten world peace and undermine regional stability. Thank you for watching us. As part of TV7 Israel's prayer initiative, I would like to encourage you today to join myself and the team here in Jerusalem to lift up Estonia in prayer for its salvation and peace, alongside prayers for the United States ahead of the upcoming presidential elections on November 3rd, the volatile situation in France, and growing instability in Nigeria. In addition to our ongoing prayers, of course, for the peace of Jerusalem, the salvation of Israel, and for all those who are impacted by the corona contagion and its numerous ramifications worldwide. Separately, I would like to voice our gratitude here in Jerusalem to all of you who partner with TV7 Israel, both by means of prayer and finance. Your dedicated monthly support serves as a living organism for TV7 Israel's ongoing operations, and we at TV7 give all glory to God for His goodness, provision, and everlasting grace. I'm Jonathan Hassan, wishing you a Shabbat Shalom u'mevorach. We will see you again on Monday at the same time.